Okay, so now it is with great pleasure that I will introduce our keynote speaker, Ms. Yolanda Cuba. She is the founder of the Mentorship Boardroom, also a champion for democratizing access and opportunity. She currently serves as a vice president at MTN Group, and with her vast experience in leadership, business development, and mentorship, Ms. Cuba will be speaking to us on the topic Building a Successful Career in the Digital and AI Era, Insights from the Mentorship Boardroom. Scholars, please help me give Ms. Cuba a very warm welcome.
Evening.
So I'm going to try this again. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
There you go. I love it. I love it. I love it. My name is Yolanda Cuba, and I accept Cuba as well. You know, it's nice to know that there is an entire country that is named after you, right? Yeah. So I am the founder of the Mentorship Boardroom, but during the day, when I'm not moonlighting and trying to democratize access and opportunity for everyone, I am actually working at MTN and look after a number of countries. So I was glad to hear some of the countries that I look after being mentioned. That included Ghana. I was a CEO in Ghana at Vodafone. And then also I heard Uganda, Eswatini. There was another country that I look after that I heard. Which one was it? Rwanda? Did you mention Rwanda? Rwanda? Yeah. So, okay. So, so what I do at MTN is basically live MTN's philosophy. And MTN's philosophy and intent and core belief is that we can make Africa better. And that's kind of the summary. And what we said we want to do, and we want to be known as a business, is people who are going to drive Africa's digital progress. And so as you come into this program, and those who are alumni of this program, and those who are old hands in the program, the call to each and every one of you is to use technology to really democratize opportunity. And then after that, you get that opportunity, make sure that it counts. Every time I meet young people, I am excited. And I'm excited for one simple reason, is that I think every generation of leaders that we have is better than the generation before. So when I look at you with hope. I look at you with inspiration. I look at each and every one of you with eagerness of the change and the impact you're going to make, not only in Africa, but in the world. Today, I've been asked to speak about building a successful career in the digital and AI era. I'm going to start off with saying, I didn't actually make my career out of a digital and AI era. Right? There was very little AI in my time when I started. I might look a little bit young, but I'm super, super old. Right? I started off my career in finance. In fact, I didn't start off in finance. I started in marketing. When I was 21, I actually started my career in marketing. Right? Who is marketing here? Anyone? Only one, two? Jeez. You know, I started off my career in marketing, but it lasted all of 1 year. And then I decided to go into accounting, and then decided to be a creative accountant. That's a bad idea, by the way, right? We don't like creative accountants, we want proper accountants. Anyway, mine today is really to challenge you. Because as we actually navigate this quickly and rapidly evolving landscape, let us start with asking you some two basic questions. Are you ready to to embrace the future? Or are you clinging onto the past? Or are you waiting for time to pass you by? I have asked this question to many people. And each time I ask it, people tell me about what they have been known for. People tell me about how great they were at school, how great they were at their job. I don't know if you noticed when I actually introduced myself, I only spoke about my current roles. I didn't speak about my past roles, right? And there's a reason for that. And the reason for that is that a lot of people get stuck in their past successes. You know, when you go home in the villages, you know that uncle of yours that always talks about, in 19 Tondoni, we were doing this and doing that and doing that, right? Do you know when people do that, do you know what I think about? I think about, is it because you have no current success that you keep on clinging onto 20-year-ago successes? So how do we actually then move into the present? How are we adapting to change? And how are we leading change? So when I was looking at this question, I actually had to go back into my career and ask myself, how did I move around? By the way, one of the things that I will say about me is that I was privileged enough and blessed enough to be a CEO of a JSE-listed company by the age of 29. And I'm still one of the youngest CEOs of a JSE-listed company that ever was. I was on the board of Absa Group from the age of about 27, and I was there for 12 years. When I joined, I was the youngest board member, and when I left, I was the youngest board member, 12 years later, right? So how did this actually happen, right? How did this actually happen? It didn't happen because I'm a magician, guys. It happened because there are a couple of things that I got right. The first one is that I played into opportunity. Today, you have an opportunity with the MasterCard Foundation. Many people get opportunities, but they are not ready to take them. When opportunity knocks, it is your obligation to take it, not to be pushed into it. By the way, my first opportunity I was pushed into, right? But after that, I was never pushed. And for me, why did I get that opportunity? There were two main reasons I got the opportunity. One, I had worked on my competence and skill, which is why you are here at this university, right? But then there's a second thing I did. The second thing I did is that I went out of my comfort zone to go and seek opportunities to work for free with other people, with other entities, and offered my services while I was doing my articles. So by the time I got a proper job, do you know where did I get it from? From the people that I had met while I was doing my articles. And I had met, and that opportunity would not have come had I waited for an opportunity to come to me. And what was amazing about that opportunity is that I just had to go to a meeting and accompany people that I was already trying to help, right? And as I was actually helping them and trying to explain things, the chairman and the CEO of the company said, at the end of the meeting, we don't have someone like you in this company. And they said, can we employ you? And I said, No, I'm still doing my articles, because I was still doing my third year of articles. And they said, when you finish, please come here and work for us. I thought they were being just playing nice. You know people, ne? They say, yeah, come, right? And then the one day I was sitting, and then I get this call, and then this guy says, hi, my name is Mark. And I'm like, Mark who? And it's like, no, Mark, the CEO of whatever. Right? And that was the start of the opportunity for me. Right? And why am I telling you this story? I'm telling you this story because every interaction, every decision you make from now on is going to determine where you end up. It is not technology that will determine where you end up. It is your mindset. It is what you choose to expose yourself to. It is the kind of networks you decide to have. We know the Denzel Washington post, right? I love it. About the 5 people you spend the most time with. Do you know it? Can I ask a question? Okay, if you hang out with 5 intelligent people, you will become the 6th, right? If you spend time with 5 millionaires, you become the. And if you spend time with 5 idiots, you become the. Right? Right? That's how it works, right? And so, that was enough to give me the opportunity. But what did sustain me? What sustained me in these positions was a couple of things. I was young, I didn't know any better. I was bold because I didn't know any better, right? That's the beauty of being young. But I embraced everything that was around me. The first thing, I'll tell you the 5 things that I did that actually apply equally in a world that is evolving, which is the world of technology. It is firstly, institutionalized curiosity. I pivoted my career, I think 4 times, and each time I pivoted my career, I was nominated or became or named the top CEO, the top personality of that industry. Okay? I have moved from corporate finance and M&A to beer, FMCG. I've moved to telecoms, and I'm still in telecoms now. And fintech as well, and digital services. Right? And each time, the drivers of those businesses were completely different. When you're selling beer, I promise you, it's not like selling airtime. Right? Totally different. So what do I mean by institutionalized curiosity? Is that your thirst for knowledge must be higher than everyone around you. Because if your thirst for knowledge is higher than everyone, it means you will read more books, listen to more podcasts, listen to more interviews than anyone else. And by the way, the research that I read many years ago, and now I'm sure has been updated, said you only need to spend only 10% more time than the average person in that industry to become one of the top 5 in that industry. That's how lazy human beings are. We don't read, we don't listen, we don't do anything, right? So all you have to do is just do 10% more. And once I figured that out, I decided that was my strategy. So if you want to decode greatness, even in the world of technology, what is it that you know about AI today? When someone talks about Gen AI, what do you know about large language models? Other than just kind of using ChatGPT as if it's a search engine. And to write essays. Who's writing essays? Be honest now. With ChatGPT. Right? So it is super important that you actually increase your quotient of curiosity beyond just your own kind of area as well. You must embrace continuous learning. As I said, I was on the board of a bank. I was on the board of a construction company, listed construction company. I, together with Laurie Brosen, actually listed the hospital group called Life Healthcare. Do you know Life Healthcare? I listed Life Healthcare. Right? So, what does that actually mean? It means I was happy to get out of my comfort zone, to learn new industries, to learn what is new. Not just be curious about it, but to actually immerse myself in it. And with new technologies, all you have to do is actually immerse yourself in it. In Gen AI, they say there are 3 kind of categories that one should actually consider when we think about new technologies, and actually specifically companies adopting Gen AI. And the first one, it says, these are the takers of new technologies. Like, if I ask you, do you know what do you guys use now? TikTok and all these other stuff, right? Do you know how it works? Do you know the code? No? Are you interested? No. But do you use it? Yes, right? And that's actually the first part, is that there are some of you that would be just takers of technology. Embrace even being a taker. And actually say, even if I don't understand Gen AI, right? But I can be a taker because it's actually a good technology. Yes, it hallucinates for 30% of the time for now, meaning that it lies, right? So don't believe everything it says, right? Because it acts like humans. So when they told me that Gen AI lies 30% of the time, I asked, does it mean that us as humans also lie 30% of the time? Because it mimics what has been fed to it through our behavior and what we've written. So that means it's us, right? So if you think about that and you say, I'm a taker of technology, it allows you to play with that technology. When you first use Instagram to now when you use Instagram and the kind of capabilities that you've developed around Instagram, right? They are vastly different, but you are a taker of that. And I want you to think of every new technology. I don't care what it is. Even when quantum computing comes, you must think of yourself first as a taker of a technology. How do I use it? Let the guys who are investing billions of dollars that they're going to lose their money. Don't worry about them. But use the technology. The second one is the shapers. Those are people that are going to shape how that will look like, how that technology is going to be used within your setting, within an organization, and so on. And then there are makers. And the makers are the guys that I am not. I will not be a coder in my old age. You guys can be. Me, too old, right? So there are those people that are software engineers and those kind of people that are there. Not all of us have to be software engineers. Not all of us have to be makers at all in order to actually benefit. So for me, that's really what you have to understand, is that you actually, at least at minimum, with every new technology, have to be a taker. Thirdly, you must immerse yourself in digital literacy and the opportunity set that each one actually presents. When was it? August. Was it August or early September? At the beginning of this year, I went to my team, And, your team always looks up to you, right? You're Group Exco of this big company that has 290 million customers and everything like that. And they're like, yeah, you know a lot, right? So I go and sit with my team, and I say to my team, guys, there is something that I actually want to discuss with you. And they say, what, boss? And I'm like, you know what? You know this Gen AI thing? It's happening around me. But I feel like I've got a gap in knowledge, And also, I feel like there is something I'm missing, because I think 5 years from now, I'm going to look back and I'm going to see new business models that have been formed, and I won't be part of it. What am I missing? So are you able to be vulnerable and actually acknowledge what you don't know? People that tend to be successful in this age tend to allow themselves the privilege of vulnerability, the right of vulnerability. Ask when you don't know. So I decided to spend just over a week in Cambridge for executive education, learning about Gen AI and how I can use it. But then I told everyone else that this is what I'm going to do, so that when I come back, they must ask me, what did you learn? So I put myself under pressure by telling everyone, hey guys, I'm going to that course. So that when I come back, I am able to deliver value to my organization and to myself. So when I was going to do this presentation and talk to you today, I asked Gen AI. I gave it a context and I said, what should I talk about? It gave me some stuff on it. I decided that I'm not going to read it because I don't think it's fair, I'm not going to drive an hour and a half just to tell you what is written by Gen AI, but I'd rather tell you a personal story. There are most probably 3 A's that I would like to leave with you today. The first one is ambidexterity, right? One of the most important things that we're seeing today is that the course or the degree that you come to learn in this institution is not what is going to determine how successful you're going to become. Now it's almost as if you can study anything. Mastercard Foundation doesn't want me to say that, right? It's almost as if you can study anything and become successful. But that's if you embrace technology. So what does it mean when I say you need ambidexterity? It means that you must understand that there are no silver bullets anymore. In my time, there was a silver bullet. When I qualified as a CA, right, there were only like 100 black women CAs. I was in demand, right? Now there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands. Your skill on its own might not be that much in demand. Me, I had to sit down and watch people actually call me. Yeah, because, when there's such few of you, you've got options. When there's many of you, you're going to have to go on a parade, right? And so, what does this mean about your career? In my time, I could become a CA and be guaranteed a job. In your time, you're not going to become a CA and be guaranteed a job. It means your ability to adapt is going to be a super key capability you have. Your degree might be the key, but what will turn the key on that door is not your degree. It's the other skills that you choose to complement your degree with. Because I was telling a friend of mine the other day, after I had gone to this AI course, now I was talking AI most, right? And I said to him, yes, your job is not going to be replaced by AI. I was sounding so clever, right? But your job is not going to be replaced by AI, right? It's not going to be taken by AI. No one's jobs is going to be taken by AI. I know that's what you read, but no one's job is going to be taken by AI. Do you know what is going to take your job? Your future job is someone who uses AI. So I then said to my friend after that, I said, going forward, I think I'm going to ask my doctor, have you used AI? Because actually, it makes sense. Just think about it. Which one would you prefer? someone says you need heart surgery, ne? And it is one person. They are examining you. Or you want someone to say, okay, I'll examine you, and then I will take all the symptoms that I see in you and put it into this kind of large language model that has seen thousands upon thousands of other cases, and then it will actually diagnose you. And then I will sit down as my doctor with you and compare what I said and what it said. And then maybe by comparing these two, I might not need heart surgery. So, and that's what's going to happen. And it's already happening, right? That is what's happening today, is that it won't be enough just to be a doctor. It'll be enough when you actually come into a room and you can demonstrate to me as a specialist after studying for 15 years, imagine that, right? That you are actually going to use some computer thing called large language models to actually diagnose me. Right? And that's what's going to happen to your career. There is a great book called Core Intelligence, right? Core Intelligence. And it's really about Gen AI and how you can use Gen AI. Because at this stage, the actual best outcome for AI is when we use humans and AI combined. We have the best kind of results, and then AI, and then humans are here. Sorry, guys. Right? So machines are doing better than us. Right? So what does this mean? It means for you, as an individual, you actually have to drive yourself into a point of discomfort and be willing to pivot from what you have learned at school to whatever the new reality may require. The two other A's is around adaptability and also agility. Technology moves fast. Do you guys know the Morse rule, right? I'm sure most of you have learned about it, heard about it. But it says technology actually doubles every 2 years. It sort of accelerates by 100% every 2 years, right? So imagine when it's doing that every 2 years. Now that time frame is getting compressed, right? And when you think about AI cannot get any worse than what it is doing today, it can only get better, right? That for me actually tells me that my ability and your ability to change, to move fast in this world is actually going to determine your success. There are many careers that are being created within the world of tech and all the changes that are happening. So today I thought I'm not going to tell you about career paths or anything like that, right? But the person you have to be in order to be able to take advantage of the opportunities that will come. The person who will win in the new world order is the person who's willing to pivot, who will not be rigid, who is agile, who is adaptable. The person who is willing to take chances and say, this is not only, I'm only going to do what I already know, but I will try something new. The people that are willing to actually get themselves to the point of the future are the ones that are going to succeed. My mentor once said to me, Yolanda, anyone can be a shooting star. And my mentor said this to me. This, by the way, my mentor is a guy called, he was my mentor then, a guy called Simon Sussman. Their family are the ones that own Woolworths. He was the CEO and then the chairman of Woolworths Group. I'm sure you all know Woolworths, right? He's a special guy, right? And he said to me, at that, what I thought was my height of my everything in the world, right? He said to me, Yolanda, everyone can be a shooting star, right? In other words, you can be a shooting star. A shooting star again appears like, now you see it, now you don't, right? That's what he was saying to me. However, what is going to make you sustainable? And that's the question you have to answer for yourself. In a world that is forever changing, in a world that is forever actually demanding new things and moving at a pace that is unprecedented, what are you going to choose to be remembered for? What are you going to choose to be to make a mark about in Africa and the world? Today is your opportunity to reflect on the future that you want. Today is an opportunity for you to be supported by a whole big kind of group of people that will mentor you, hold your hand, so that you can be great tomorrow. Are you going to take that opportunity to your own greatness? Or are you going to sit here and say, I am not going to adapt, I am not going to change, I'm going to be who I am. They know me like this. I've been famous for this. Or are you going to say, I am here to change Africa for the better? These are some of the insights that I have learned. Technology will come and go. Technology will be forever changing. However, how you choose to think, how you choose to define yourself is what will build a better Africa and a better world. Let's do it together. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Miss Yolanda Cuba. I hope I said that right. I'm sure each and every scholar here that is trying to be a transformative leader will take away something valuable from what you have said. Thank you for sharing that with us.